Ridley Scott's Napoleon was a disappointment and failure in so many ways, and it may actually go down in history as perhaps one of the worst depictions of Napoleon we have ever seen. But I was wondering, surely if Ridley Scott wasn't able to do justice to the complex life of Napoleon, who else could possibly fill those boots and give audiences the Napoleon depiction we have been waiting for? Well, I believe I have found the answer to this question, and the person to save Napoleon's legacy could be arguably the best director in the history of cinema, and that is Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg's prowess as a director needs no elaboration, as he has directed and produced several amazing historical epics such as Saving Private Ryan and so many more. So when I recently read an article stating that Steven Spielberg is currently working on a historical miniseries based on the life of Napoleon, I was relieved to see that we may finally have a competent director step in where Ridley Scott has already failed us, and we can finally get an action-heavy and serious depiction of Napoleon and the Napoleonic Wars. So after double checking across multiple sources, I was able to confirm that it is indeed true that Steven Spielberg is currently hard at work producing a TV miniseries on Napoleon. This means that this upcoming historical TV show will take a similar format as the amazing historical TV miniseries Band of Brothers and the Pacific, as this upcoming Napoleon series will be a 7-episode miniseries, which means the story of Napoleon can be told at a slower pace, and we will actually have a chance to build bond and connections with the various characters involved in the show. I also hope with at least 7 hours dedicated to depicting the rise and fall of Napoleon, we will be able to get a story that is able to appropriately display his prowess as a general, his cunning as a politician, and his wide sweeping changes as a ruler, which impact societal and educational formats even to this day. Ridley Scott's Napoleon seemed to focus primarily on his relationship with Josephine, with his military achievements taking a backseat. And I agree, his relationship with Josephine is an important element of Napoleon's history, but it is definitely not what he's remembered for today. And I'm really hoping that Steven Spielberg is able to avoid this mistake and keep his marital and relationships as a side plot to the film rather than the primary focus. So in terms of the actual upcoming Napoleon miniseries, we know precious little as of yet, except that this will be based on the original vision Stanley Kubrick had for a Napoleon film, and that this miniseries will be told in 7 parts and will also be an HBO exclusive. The basis of the film will be based off of the 149-page script left behind by Stanley Kubrick, and it will aim to be a true biographical depiction of the French emperor starting from his birth in 1769 to his death in 1821. And it has been stated that Stanley Kubrick spent a considerable amount of time doing research on Napoleon, and he was interested in creating a historically accurate film as much as possible. Of course, that doesn't mean Steven Spielberg will be following Stanley Kubrick's script word for word, but it does highlight that there is a strong foundation already in place which Steven Spielberg can use to create a new historical epic. And after the failure and abysmal Napoleon we got from Ridley Scott this year, I think audiences will be keen to see a more historically accurate and slower paced depiction of the life of Napoleon Bonaparte. But that's all the information I have about this upcoming Napoleon TV miniseries as of right now. But let me know in the comments down below if you're excited for this new depiction of Napoleon that we will be getting at some point either next year or in 2025. And remember to stay up to date with everything to do with historical TV shows and historical movies. Subscribe to my channel History Spark, and thank you so much for watching.